Okay, give an example of to uh, how to assure that the students have achieved the stated outcomes. I'll give two examples here. Number one is PO1, ability to apply knowledge in civil engineering principles and other relevant fields studies to solve complex engineering problems. Right? Let me start off with the first one first, PO1. Now we need to set the what we call the performance indicator. In this case here, uh, um, this is only specific to applying knowledge of civil engineering principles. I'm just taking this part of the outcomes, and to address this part of outcomes, so this will be the what we call the performance indicator. So we do expect that the students must able to reach at least level 2. So meaning to say that the student must be able to apply scientific engineering principles in solving basic and minimum complex engineering problems of practice. So meaning to say that we expect the students will get the marks around minimum of 40%. So meaning to 40 to 49%. This will be the level of students' achievement. So if the students score more than 80%, which is level 5, so meaning to say that this will be the expected performance indicator. This indicate that the students able to combine scientific and engineering principles to formulate analytical or numerical complex in solving complex problem. So this is an indicator if the student score 80% and above. Now, let us look at the assessment plan on PO1, which is the ability to apply civil engineering principles and other relevant fields of studies to solve complex engineering problems. Now, there are many assessment tools can be used. Firstly, you can take the marks from selected courses that dominantly contributing towards attaining the fundamental knowledge. This is a direct assessment method where you can just take the final mark of the courses that are dominantly contributing towards the fundamental knowledge. You can get the final marks of a few the courses that taken by the students. And if the students score minimum of 40%, so it is the indicator that the outcomes is achieved. Okay. The second method, you can also get the marks, collect the marks from the culminating courses that dominantly contributing towards the attaining of fundamental knowledge. Culminating meaning to say that the courses at the end of towards the end of the students to graduate, usually in the third or in the final year, or perhaps in the final year. Again, what will be the indicator that the outcomes is achieved? All our students score minimum of 40%. The third assessment tool, or the third method, you can also get the accumulated marks, either average or weightage, from the assessment method of all courses that assess the PO1. This is a bit complicated because you need to segregate and then accumulate get all the marks from all the courses where it is contributing towards achievement of PO1. And the indicator, the outcomes is achieved, this is just an example where you put a target that 80% of the student score more than 65% as the average mark accumulated from all courses that assess PO1. What I mean of accumulating all the marks here is that, for example, in this case here, that this particular course, where this is the course outcome of one course, and this is addressing PO1, so there must be assessment tools to use to assess PO1 here. CO1 that is contributing to PO1, same as CO2 contributing to PO1 and CO3 contributing to PO1, and all this PO1 is being what we call gathered with other courses as well, and then after that is being accumulated, and either it is being averaged or weightage, right? But some other cases, perhaps in example here, instead of having so many outcomes to be measured, so sometimes we just use the dominant POs. In this case here, for example, the dominant one actually is the design. So that's the reason why here they're only taking the one dominant, which is only to address PO3. Right? So we can use this course, take these marks here, and this is the method number 1 just now, dominantly that will address PO3. Number 4, you can also use civil engineering exit test. Upon before the student graduated, so they need to sit one test where we will request them to get a pass, then only you consider that you have already attained PO1. Okay, and the fifth tools, you can also use student perception based on exit survey. You give them a questionnaire and a self-assessed tools, and so that is the reason why it's an indirect measurement to see whether the students to get this feedback from the students, and if the students' average score is above 3 or satisfactory, then you consider that is okay. As I said, there are so many methods, but which one to choose? Which one should be adopted? So it all depends. It all depends on the culture of the institution. It all depends the number of students that you have. It also depends on the nature of students, and it also depends on the nature of your staff, right? For example, for our case, we have got many students and also many staffs, so we use 3 assessment tools to be used to see whether the PO1 is attained by the student or not. For example, here, number 1, we chose the marks from selected courses that dominantly contribute towards attaining of PO1. Right? We did not use the one accumulated, or average it or weightage it, because it's too many, too troublesome, and too details. right? And that's reason why, because by having this one, every staff, every lecturers will able to do this. So because they will mark the paper and see that all the students score minimum of 40 in all the selected courses, then we consider that the outcomes has been PO1 has been achieved. And secondly, we use the civil engineering exit test because this is to give us confidence that before the student graduated, that all the fundamental knowledge on civil engineering has been tested and passed. And we use a simple indirect measurement, which is just to give a questionnaire to the students and ask them to self-assess themselves whether they have achieved PO1 or not.